I'm Jason Weidman with ScanSource. As you can see, we're coming to you today via Zoom video to talk about remote workforce solutions. So today, ScanSource brings together two individuals who have vast technology industry knowledge and expertise to discuss the potential issues and the potential opportunities that are possible during this huge ramp up of the number of people working from home today. So I'd like to introduce Kyle DeWitt, who is Vice President of Technical Services with ScanSource. And he's been with the company for 16 years, has a strong background in the communication technology space, and has served in various leadership positions within our technical services team. I'd like also to introduce Gary Davis, who is Director of Solutions Engineering, and in 2016, he brought his more than 30 years of IT experience to the ScanSource Intelisys team. So welcome, Kyle and Gary. You both managed remote teams for years, so this is a great question for you guys specifically. This isn't new to you. There are things you can control and things you can't control when you're managing a remote workforce. And those things obviously have an impact on employee productivity. So can you both share some of your best practices for home office environments? Now that even, folks that might work at a coffee shop or those road warriors are also literally quarantined to their house right now. A few things that come to mind for me are the placement of desks, cameras, microphones, dealing with distractions. Of course, a lot of kids are out of school right now. That's something I'm dealing with a 2.5-year-old at home. And also a big one, the potential for neighborhood bandwidth limitations or concerns. Can you address some of those issues?
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought up the road warriors are now quarantined as well, because that's something you don't really think about. But there's a large part of our workforce in the States that is literally on the road and literally holding meetings from Starbucks or coffee shop. Now they're all having to work from an environment where not that you can control your background when you're in public, but now you're sitting at home with kids and families and dogs and whatnot, and there's a lot of potential for distraction. So I'll hit a couple of those things and let Gary hop in here. But just from my communications background, I'd say the key for effective meetings like this, choose the right microphone. Speaker phones are great because they're hands-free. They don't mess up your hair, but you put them in a room with a bunch of hard surfaces and you get reverberation and it sounds like you're in a concert hall. You do have a speakerphone in a room with soft surfaces and furniture, it's a much better experience. Obviously, over-the-ear headphones, even with boom mics, things like that, really much better audio experience for you and your remote participants than using, say, the built-in microphone and speaker on your laptop, especially if you're in an interactive meeting or you're multitasking and you're typing away on the laptop. It's extremely distracting to the remote participants to hear all that banging and clanging. So microphone and headset, one thing to focus on. Second thing I would say, just before I pass it off here, would be camera placement. So most laptops or compute devices these days will have a built-in webcam. Using a USB webcam is usually a better option for quality, but the placement of that USB webcam can also be very distracting to remote participants and affect the productivity of a meeting. For instance, people will mount USB cameras up high, right? So now you lose, one, you're looking down at the person that you're interacting with, but two, they're not interacting with you because they're not looking up at the camera that's mounted up on the top of their display. So the experience with a built-in USB or a built-in camera on a laptop or compute device like the one I'm using today provides the better engagement experience.
Sure.
But you can also just take, I mean, literally right beside mine, I have a little USB webcam that I can connect and switch to if I need to change the angle or improve the experience. So those are two just very, again, very specific examples of ways to address being in a home office. There's plenty of other ones. As we were setting this meeting up, I was joking about the walk path over here. So there's the potential to have who knows what kind of distraction behind me while we're recording this today. Background, audio, video, all real important factors to holding productive meetings.
And I'll kick in from there. And one of the things that's interesting for me is the big distraction I have sometimes is two beagles. So they can definitely be vocal at times. So having a noise canceling type of a headphone of some sort is definitely a key in terms of trying to keep the distractions down, particularly with the beagles there. But also just simple things. I mean, it's getting up. For me, I guess I'm a little bit old school. I've got to get up. I got to get dressed. Take a shower. Shave. Do the normal things like I would normally do as I was going into the office. And then I have a special room I go into. I've got an office area that I use every single day, and that's what I do is sit down and work when I'm sitting at the house. But again, I do this full time. If not, I'm on the road someplace. So that's one of the key things for me is having a routine associated with it.
Well, that's great. And Kyle and Gary, can't thank you guys enough for sharing your insights about how to make working from home as efficient and productive as possible. And we look forward to having more of these conversations in the near future. To anyone watching today, we want to let you know that ScanSource and Telesis are not done supporting you. We know a lot of our partners are feeling the strain of the current challenges, and we're right there with you. So if there's anything we can do to support you, please reach out to either your Intelisys channel manager or your ScanSource account executive, or visit scansource.com/go remote for additional information about our remote workforce solutions, as well as some valuable tips and even some free offers. So thanks for joining us today, and we hope to talk to you very soon. Bye.